Hello, blessed people. So I'm back again to talk to you about another plant that I love, and I'll try to alternate between ornamental plants and edible plants, edible medicinal plants, because I love edible medicinal plants. So this plant we're going to talk about today is Cuban oregano, or as other people call it, Mexican mint, Spanish thyme. Um, European borat or something like that. Everyone wants to claim it. But anyway, I love the name, which is Cuban oregano, because I like Cuba, so I'll just call it Cuban oregano instead of calling it Mexican mint. They also belong to the mint family as well, and are quite minty. I mean, they don't taste like mint or smell like mint, or they're quite aromatic. So this is an aromatic perennial herb or plant, if you wish. Perennial, which means, it keeps on going and going and going. It doesn't like grow, then die and come back again. So it doesn't like grow and then seed and that's the end of it, and you have to plant it by seed again. So it keeps on going. For as long as you want it to go, for as long as she or they want to go. You know. So yeah, this is Cuban oregano. It's semi-succulent because the leaves are quite thick, and it's a plant that doesn't need so much water. So they like it hot, and sunny and dry and not so moist. But now I'm having a bit of a problem because even though we're in dry season now, it doesn't seem quite dry yet. But yeah, I feel my garden is being watered a bit too much now. Even though that's what I wanted, but I feel a few plants are suffering, and you might have to cut back on the watering because I don't do all the watering. So I have a gardener that helps sometimes to water. So I think it's watering a bit too much. I have to tell him to stop, especially with the plants that don't need so much water. And I thought, it would be so hot these days as we're in December now that they would need all the water they can get so they won't, die. Because I water like all my plants like 3 days in 7 days. That's enough, right? 3 days in 7 days. Maybe some plants might need less, but that's just how much I water them. And they're in the shade, so I think I might need to bring them out into the sunlight, more sunlight. I mean, it's not so shaded really, but I might need to bring them out into more sunlight and just kind of move things around in this garden and reshuffle things around. But yeah, this is Cuban oregano. It's a plant that everyone needs to have in their home. It's a very reliable plant as well. Very easy to grow, not fussy at all, and you can always reproduce and make more plants. So this is a young one which I potted a few days ago or a week ago, and here is like a much bigger one, a much older, mature one that's been in this pot for a while. I think it needs to be fed. I think it needs to be pruned as well. I think I recently pruned, but I think it still needs a bit of pruning as well and more sunlight because you can see the leaves are getting small. So anytime you notice that your herbs or your plants have small leaves, just know that they probably need more sunlight. They probably need more feeding, like compost or like miracle food or MPK that some of you might want to add to your plants. Um, yeah, because nitrogen, which you find in good organic compost, helps plants to produce more leaves. Yeah, produce more leaves, bigger leaves as well, and the sunlight too. When the plant is exposed to sunlight, the leaves get bigger, so the plant can take in more sunlight. Because if a plant is in the dark, the stems just get thinner and longer, and the leaves just get smaller and smaller because the plant is desperately trying to find the light. So the stems just get longer and longer, trying to reach the light, and doesn't produce as much leaves. So what every plant needs is some good feeding, some good soil, good sunlight, and some water. So yeah, Cuban oregano, you can always propagate from the leaf. So you can propagate from leaf, but no one wants to do that. Like that's gonna take a while for it to get to a plant like this. So, but yeah, you could just put the leaf down and it will grow roots, or straight into the soil like this. Inside the soil, just put a little hole, and it will start growing easily. Or you can always, I'm not going to cut this one. You can always Oh, oh my god. Oh my god. So here's a stem. Oh, as I said in the previous video, and as you've probably seen from maybe doing any personal plant research of your own, always cut below the node. So here's a node, which is where we have leaves growing. So you can always cut below the node. But actually, I'm not going to cut that node because I like that node. I like that stem. Here is a stem here, actually. So you can see this is a node. 1, 2. It's all about nodes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to cut below this node. So here is a new. This is a new plant right here, a new plant, and you stick it into the soil. So I'm not going to put it into this pot. I will put it in this pot. So position. Here we go, and you just stick it in, like about 3 nodes in or 2 nodes in. It's very easy to propagate, so you'll probably be very lucky. So here we go. So it's in there, and that is a brand new plant on its own, and they grow pretty quickly as well. I get quite overwhelmed by them. Yeah, they get really tall, but I've recently pruned all my Cuban Oreganos. Yeah. So enough about Cuban Oreganos. I mentioned that they like it hot, warm, sunny, dry as well. Of course, do not starve them with water. Starve them of water, because every plant still needs water. Every plant still needs light. So this is a leaf, very edible, very medicinal. So now I'm going to I've never really eaten on camera before. So I'm just going to take a bite of this leaf. I do it all the time. So whenever I'm walking or working in my garden, I just pick the leaves and just eat it as I go, really. Oh, the wind's blowing. Don't fall my camera down. Oh my god. And it's really refreshing. It has a lot of water in it. As I mentioned, it's a succulent, semi-succulent. So here it goes. Sorry, I do this a lot. I'm just shy the camera. So like, it has a very strong aromatic taste, and when you snip the leaves, it releases the aroma as well. Lovely. Some of you might think it's bitter, but it really isn't. You have to get used to it, really. Just very strong. Yeah, it's just a strong taste, and you can always dry the leaves, and crush them and use them as spices. So let me tell you, this plant, Cuban Oregano, is an alternative. I mean, stuff like rosemary, say the one, thyme. Like the Mediterranean thyme, the thyme. What other things? I don't know, those the typical Mediterranean aromatic herbs. They're not coming to mind right now. But yeah, rosemary, thyme. What else? I really don't know. This is pretty much like a much more convenient alternative to those ones. You could just have this one instead of having thyme and many other different things. I mean, it's up to you. That's just my opinion, really. So it's stuff that you can dry and add to your meats. If you season spicy meats, you can add it to your stews. Tomato sauces and all those things like that. And so I personally don't really do that. I mean, I'll try one of these days when I have time to experiment. Yeah, I've added it still actually, but I mostly just have it raw because I like raw things. So I just have the leaves, and it's really refreshing. Has a lot of water in it. Very medicinal. So this plant is great medicinally for colds, for sore throats, for coughs, for bronchitis. If you feel bloated as well. So I believe this plant is very useful. No, has been very useful and is very useful for like COVID-19 symptoms. Yeah, and it really is good for inflammation, and really decongest your system, your respiratory system, nasal congestion, all of that stuff. So this plant is really amazing for that. So just have it raw, have it as a tea, blend it, have it as a smoothie. I've done all of that. It's really, really nice. I think I got a tip from someone, a friend. It is as a smoothie with lime. I think It was really amazing. I think you would really like it with lime. But anyway, I'm not a culinary expert, so yeah. So it's really good for all those things. I think I will write it down in the section where you write all the things down, all the information down. Um, yeah, so please get it. It's really good, and I believe if really, I just believe, maybe intuitively, it really freshens the air. You know, I just smell it. It just smells great, and it freshens the air. I feel it traps dust. So maybe whenever you want to eat your plants, you wash it off, wash it with water, because they're quite there's something furry about the texture. It's not like a smooth, glossy texture like other leaves. There's something quite furry about it, even though you can't really see any fur, but it has a matte texture that I feel allows it to trap things, you know. So I believe those are some of the benefits. Also, another benefit is before I work in the garden, especially during the rainy season, we have a lot of mosquitoes in the garden. And yeah, they really love me. They really love me, and they're always on my skin. So I'm just working. You don't even hear a sound. You just look, and they're there, stuck in your blood. You know, and I don't like that. I don't want to get malaria. I don't want to put myself at risk of having malaria. And sometimes they're just buzzing here, like you know. I'm just like, oh, stop it. Um, so what I do, I cut the leaves, I crush the leaves, and I rub it all over my skin, my exposed skin. So I wear long sleeve. I'm not doing that right now because I'm making a video. I'm not really working. I wear long sleeve shirts in the garden for protection, for UV protection and for like insect protection. But any exposed skin, like my neck, my all over here, all over my ears, and sometimes my face, you know. I mean, it smells nice. It smells really, really clean, and I really believe, because that's what I do every time. I really believe it keeps mosquitoes away. So you can try that if you want to sit in your garden, or if you've been scared to sit in your garden for fear of mosquitoes, you know. So just try it, and maybe always just snip the leaves of your plants to just kind of make them release the the aromatic, strong aromatic fragrance or odor, which can, I guess, ward mosquitoes or unnecessary insects away from you. Um, yeah, so I believe that's enough about Cuban oregano. It's a really wonderful plant. It looks like a coleus. If any one of you know coleus, the coleus plant, it comes in different, it comes in green, multiple colors, purples, burgundies. I believe there's also a family of that as well, and the mints. But you know, you never know the way these plants are, you know, and their families and how they're related. But it's a beautiful plant. They can get really big as well, so be careful with that. Um, it comes also like in a variegated form. So I just started to propagate a variegated one that I got. So I have a couple here. Uh, it's really small, so I'll just show you. So you can see how the edges are variegated. So yeah, but the most common one I have is the plain green one. Yeah, and so this is the really big one. Again, that's how big it can get, you know, so it can be a lot more leafier. But yeah, that's all about Cuban oregano. It's a plant that I love. It's a plant that you should love and you will love, and it's a plant that you can have in your garden, you know, as part of your edible medicinal plant collection, and that can help you in times of need. I advise you to find the plants, get the plants, and get acquainted and consume it, use the plants, because herbs thrive on being used as well. If you don't really use herbs, they just get long and tall, and I feel they just don't like it. You know, the plants are also, okay, I don't want to, okay, plants are also, you know, beings on their own as well, but you know, they also know that they're here for us as well, because if they go into us, they'll come out of us and go back into the ground and come back again in through all the other plants, and probably the same plants as well too. So for them, it's all a cycle. I believe they know that they're also here for us as well. So enough about that. But anyway, herbs thrive on being used, because when you know, trim them, when you prune them, when you use them, you know, they produce more leaves, they bush out a lot more, and they don't just don't get really long. Because a lot of my Cuban oreganos in my garden where I keep them, they got really long, so I had to like trim loads and then pot up loads. So I just had so much work to do, because I mean there's only so much Cuban oregano that I alone can consume. I mean my family, they don't really consume it. I'm the only one. So yeah, herbs thrive on being used. So please, if you find yours, get yours, use yours, and you'll love it. So anyway, enough about that. Thank you very much if you listened to the end. Hope this was educative, informative, and entertaining in some way. So anyway, I'll see you guys again later. Bye.